Welcome back to Garden Guru. If your yard feels overgrown, messy, or out of control, the worst thing you can do is start hacking away at random. That usually creates more work, more expense, and a yard that still doesn't feel better when you're done. So in this video, I'm going to show you where to start with an overgrown yard, what to fix first, and how to clean it up without making it worse. And stick around, because near the end, I'll give you a simple way to tell what needs to stay, what needs to go, and what you should absolutely not touch yet. Let's get into it.
One of the biggest mistakes people make with an overgrown yard is treating it like a trimming problem. They see shrubs getting too big, plants flopping everywhere, weeds popping up, beds disappearing, maybe some old pots or random clutter, and they think the answer is to just start cutting. But an overgrown yard usually is not just overgrown. It's visually crowded, it's hard to read, the structure is buried, and the priorities are unclear. That's why random cleanup often feels exhausting, but still doesn't create much improvement. You can spend an entire weekend cutting things back and still end up with a yard that feels messy, awkward, or unfinished. So instead of starting with the shears, I want you to start with clarity. 1. Don't start by buying new plants. This is one of the easiest mistakes to make, because when a yard looks bad, people naturally assume they need something new to fix it. Maybe a fresh shrub, maybe some flowers, maybe a few decorative pots, maybe a quick trip to the nursery for inspiration. But if the yard is already overgrown, new plants are almost never the first answer. Because the real problem usually is not that the yard lacks stuff, the real problem is that the yard has lost definition. The structure is buried, the space is crowded, the planting is competing with itself, and the eye can't tell what matters anymore. So if you start buying new plants before you've cleared the mess and found the bones of the yard, you usually just add more decisions to an already confusing space. That's why the first move in an overgrown yard is almost never buying. It's seeing. 2. Start by clearing visual junk. This is where the fastest improvement usually happens. Before you start pruning major shrubs or redesigning beds, begin by removing the things that are adding noise without adding value. That might mean dead annuals, broken edging, old nursery pots, yard debris, leaning solar lights, random decor, weed patches, collapsed plant supports, or little leftover pieces from old projects that are still hanging around. This kind of clutter does more damage than people realize because it makes the yard feel even more chaotic than it already is. And when an overgrown yard has visual junk layered on top of overgrown planting, it becomes very hard to tell what the real problems are. So this is the first cleanup pass I'd make. Not major cutting, not replanting, not redesigning. Just remove the obvious noise. Because once that clutter is gone, the yard usually calms down a little immediately, and that makes the next steps much easier to see. 3. Find the bones of the yard. This is the most important mindset shift in the whole process. An overgrown yard often feels like one big problem, but it usually is not one problem. It's a yard whose original structure got buried. So before you decide what to cut hard, rip out, or replace, look for the bones. Where is the walkway? Where is the patio or seating area? Where are the bed lines? What shrubs are acting as anchors? What trees are important? What fences, steps, walls, or corners are still shaping the space? Where does the yard actually want to organize itself? Because even in a messy, overgrown yard, there is often a framework still there. You just can't read it clearly yet. This step matters because if you skip it, you can end up cutting down or removing the very things that could have helped you rebuild the yard faster. So before you decide what the yard needs next, first figure out what the yard already has. Where are the bones? Because once you can see those bones again, the yard starts becoming easier to understand. 4. Decide what stays and what goes. Now that the clutter is gone and the structure is more visible, this is where you can start making better decisions. And this is where a lot of people either get too aggressive or not aggressive enough. Some people cut everything back hard because they're frustrated. Other people keep everything because they're afraid to make a mistake.
Usually the right answer is somewhere in the middle. This is where I'd start dividing the yard into 3 categories: what clearly stays, what clearly goes, and what needs a little more time before you decide. Some plants are obviously worth keeping. Some are obviously in the wrong place, too far gone, too messy, or too weak to justify the space they're taking. And some need a little cleanup before you can judge them fairly. That's a much better approach than just start chopping or just keep everything for now. Because overgrown yards get expensive when you spend energy maintaining things that no longer deserve the space. And they stay frustrating when dead weight is left in place too long. So this is where you begin editing with intention. Not emotionally, not impulsively, just clearly. What still earns its place? What doesn't? And what needs a second look once the yard is calmer? 5. Open up the most important sightline first. This is where the yard starts feeling better fast. Because once you've identified the bones and decided what stays and goes, the smartest next move is usually not clean everything equally. It's to improve the sightline that matters most. That might be the view to the front door, the main walkway, the view into the backyard, the seating area, or the place you see every day from the house. Why does this matter? Because people don't experience their yard all at once. They experience key views. And if the most important view is overgrown, blocked, or cluttered, the whole property feels worse. So rather than trying to fix every bed and every corner at the same time, choose the sightline that gives the yard the biggest visual relief. Open that first. Clear the view. Create breathing room. Let the important area become visible again. That creates momentum. And momentum matters a lot in an overgrown yard, because the whole process can otherwise feel endless. 6. Fix shape before details. Once the key sightline is clearer, this is the point where I'd start restoring shape. This means bed edges, lawn lines, path definition, and the overall outline of planting areas. Overgrown yards often lose shape slowly. Plants spill out, beds blur, grass creeps in, edges disappear, and everything starts feeling swollen and undefined. That's why detail work too early is often wasted effort. If the shape is still weak, little improvements won't read clearly. Fresh mulch won't do much. New flowers won't help much. Decor won't solve much. So before you get tempted by finishing touches, get the lines back. Make the bed make sense again. Make the path readable again. Make the edge visible again. Because shape creates clarity. And in an overgrown yard, clarity is one of the most valuable things you can create.
7. Only then think about replanting or refining. This is where most people want to begin, but it works much better as a later step. Once the junk is gone, once the bones are visible, once the keeps and removals are clearer, once the main sightline is opened, and once the shapes are readable again, then it starts making sense to think about what the yard needs next. Maybe now it needs a gap filled, a shrub replaced, some repeated planting, a better anchor, or a few finishing plants to restore balance. But now those decisions are being made inside a yard that is easier to understand. And that changes everything, because now you're not buying or planting to rescue confusion, you're planting to support clarity. That's a huge difference, and it usually leads to much smarter decisions, less wasted effort, and a cleaner final result. So if your yard feels overgrown, here's the order I'd use. First, don't buy new plants. Second, clear the visual junk. Third, find the bones of the yard. Fourth, decide what stays and what goes. Fifth, open up the most important sightline first. Sixth, restore the shape. And only then start thinking about replanting or refining. That order helps you stop reacting to the mess and start rebuilding the yard with intention. And here's the quick test I'd use
before you cut or buy anything. Ask, can I clearly see the structure of this yard yet? Do I know what deserves to stay? And am I about to add something new before I've made the space readable again? If the answer is no, no, and yes, then you're probably about to make the yard harder to fix.
Well, there you have it. I hope this helped you feel more confident about where to start with an overgrown yard. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting your hands dirty. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Garden Guru, and I'll see you in the next one.